it does actually rattle you with the sound.
Today I'm going to be going over the Aura Interactor virtual reality game wear. This came out in 1994. I actually remember seeing commercials of this when I was a kid. It was supposed to be a backpack that you wore on back or front, and it would actually vibrate based on the sounds in the video game. Now, it was promoted primarily for the Super NES and the Sega Genesis, but according to the back and all the specs I've been reading, it's actually compatible with pretty much anything that has an audio jack. The technology is based on the rumble chairs that you still have today. This came out in 1994, so I'm not sure if the rumble chair came first or if this came first, but this most certainly came before the rumble pack in the Nintendo 64. I got it brand new online for about $15 to $20, and so let's crack it open and see what it has.
Go over the box a little bit. Feel punches, explosions, kicks, uppercuts, slam dunks, crashes. I mean, this is just kind of ridiculous. The boxing of the 1990s and the wording they used for it. Works with all 16-bit, 32-bit, and 64-bit video games, as well as all CD-ROM computer games. Yeah, well, we'll see about that depending on how the connections are. But, I mean, just some of the different things on here. Obviously, you have a kid enjoying playing a video game with it on its back. Then it's got pictures of the compatibility, CDs and stereos, TV VCRs. That just shows you how old this is. Got a picture of a video game console. I don't even know what that is. That kind of looks like a hybrid of Sega CD 3DO or some Panasonic system back in the day. What's really interesting is right here in the corner, 1994 Design and Engineering Honors from Innovations Consumer Electronics Show of 1994. So, obviously, even though this is brand new, it still has some mild damage to the box and some mild damage to the plastic, but it's never been opened before. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what it came with. But considering how long ago 1994 was, I was so glad to see that I could find something with the wrap still on a little bit. Like, you can tell that it just has not, you can't slide this off without breaking all the plastic. So I know this hasn't been opened. So let's crack it open if we can. I know it's never been opened. There's actual paint and ink that came off with the saran wrap over the time. So I will try to position this so everybody can see everything. Wow, that's kind of cool. Everything is just as it should have been in 1994. So obviously it comes with an instruction sheet. I assume that would occur. And I'm just trying to see, yeah, it's got the PC speaker hookups. And what I might actually do is, because this is such a collector's item, I may actually scan some of these and put pictures up, that way everybody can see them. You have a full instruction manual. Let's see if there's anything interesting in here. It's just the different plug-ups. Warranty and registration card. I should totally send this to this address in California just to see what happens. Oh, another product of the 90s. Yo, read this first. Check for proper connections. For example, see page 8. Games mode requires filters to be set above 5. No output increase filters. So I'm assuming that's about the device. So obviously we have the backpack, which is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. It's a little heavier than the old Ghostbusters kid pack that you would wear. You have, I guess this is the amplifier, which it's about a pound, I would say. So all the different connections, all the different adjustments and stuff like that. And I can only assume that this is the power cable. Yep, heavy brick power cable. That's what it feels like. Whoa, that is massive. That's bigger than the Nintendo block. Wow, I mean, look at that. Jeez. How many volts is that? $11.5, so yeah, between the connector and the 11.5, this would be kind of hard to replace, especially I haven't seen that on many things. Maybe some old audio visual. Let's see what it works with and what we can do with it. Oh wow, okay, apparently a bunch of audio cables and adapters. Okay, so I just got this set back up. I got the amplifier hooked up and I couldn't hear anything through the laptop computer, so I switched it to music mode instead of game mode. But one really interesting thing that occurred, I don't know if anybody can hear that, but it's actually picking up a nearby radio station. I can actually hear a radio station through the device itself in music mode, which I guess makes sense because I mean this is a big power plug, and an antenna is identified as any length of wire, so it's really bizarre that it's picking up a radio station. So obviously if I hit the volume, you hear it in the pack. So I guess this works as a speaker, but also if you switch it to game mode, depending on the compatibility. So I'm going to strap it in and see what happens. Can't hear any music whatsoever, so with something like this you really do need a splitter, unless you set it to music mode, that way you hear everything. Well, nothing's going on yet. Ooh, that is kind of cool. That is really amazing how it literally just picks up the explosions. Huh. I'm surprised at this. This is actually really cool. It does actually rattle you with the sound. Feels like someone's knocking on my back. So I guess the coolest thing is that it still works today. Which also means it should work with phone VR, it should work with the Oculus, modern games. Really the only thing you would need is a splitter for the sound, so you can hear it on headphones or speakers and also feel it in the device. I've heard a lot of complaints about it rattling your insides and making people nauseous. I can only see that being an issue if you're wearing it on the front. I actually like this. Now, it's not very comfortable. If you're a growing boy like me, this was designed for children, so it's a little tight. But it's just a matter of loosening it up. You may have to do some modifications to the straps, because it really does need to be up against your skin to get the full effect, otherwise you just hear sound. This was released around the same time that first generation VR stuff had just started to pick up. The Sega VR was supposed to be out soon. Atari Jaguar was working on a VR. Virtual Boy was less than a year away, and this was supposed to be compatible with all the new VR headsets. Now, obviously, we know only Virtual Boy came out. Now, whether or not this is compatible with the Stuntmaster or any of the other VR headsets that came out, that's debatable. You'd have to have both and try them out. So if you've got a VictorMax Stuntmaster or any other headsets that were released, let me know if you've tried this with it, just to see how the mid-90s first generation VR was. Because when this first came out, I think it was $150. And then you've got the VictorMax Stuntmaster, you're looking at $600, and then you're looking at a Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo. So it's crazy. Have a good one.